Okay.
Hi,
Hello.
and welcome to the Tiny House of Color.
Welcome to our channel.
This is our first video, if you can't figure that
First
out.
video.
My name's Binta,
I'm Juana.
and we're married, and we live in an RV that we converted into a tiny house. So I guess we want to do this first video just to talk about why we decided to live the RV life.
Yes. So, since this is our first episode, we want to talk about why we decided to do it and like kind of how we got into it.
Yes.
I live at the Star.
Okay, so I definitely was a weird kid. I don't know many other kids who would beg and plead with their parent to take them to an RV park and look at RVs. But when I was like from the ages of like 9 to 11, me and my dad, when we were visiting his hometown, we passed by this huge RV park, and every time I would like beg to go, and a few times he actually allowed me to go, and we would go inside and look at the RVs. I've always been obsessed with kind of living on the road, being able to travel because I love traveling, and also being at home because I always thought it was weird that you would pay to like travel somewhere and then also pay to stay somewhere. So the RV life has always kind of attracted me, and that's kind of where I'm coming from in this duo.
Yeah, you're like the catalyst.
Yes, I guess I was the one to present the idea, but definitely could not have done it without Juana and her perspective.
It was a team effort for sure, for sure. I was never. I grew up. I grew up in El Salvador, so I didn't really have like an image of what an RV really was. We didn't really have that there, or not. At least not in my circle. Like I didn't really know about it. But even living in the States, I wasn't at first. It wasn't a thing that I really cared about because I was just doing I guess the more traditional, like renting an apartment. I lived in a city, so I'd never thought about an RV or a tiny home.
But you did like come on the minimalism thing, right?
Definitely. So I've always I haven't always been a minimalist for sure. I think that when I first started living on my own, it was a little bit difficult because you get to buy all these things for yourself. So I was definitely splurging. But a few years ago, I started getting into the minimalist lifestyle, and
It's been about 6 years now.
yeah,
right?
it's been a while. When Vince and I met, I was already doing that, so it was kind of tied in together, and how our relationship kind of blossomed.
Yeah, I mean, I was really interested in minimalism as well and living intentionally. And I think that's kind of how this core value of ours, like how we got to realize that it was kind of the same value, is because even though we're coming from different spaces, we both really valued experiences over things. So, of course, we both like having nice things, but we like to limit the things we have so that we can do more. And also, like, we only try to buy things that we need and that, like, are really special to us. So we try not to have a lot of like extra stuff. And that was something that even before we started living in the RV, we tried to practice. So we were living in a house, but we had roommates. So we were basically in our room space. And I think that got us like thinking about like, could we like just live in a space like this? And that's kind of how we introduced the topic, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely how. Also, I think we got pretty exhausted, very tired of having roommates.
Yeah.
And at the time, we were living in Miami, which is a very, very expensive city.
Beautiful, but expensive.
It's gorgeous. We love it there. But yeah, extremely expensive, and like having roommates was really, really stressful.
Yeah, it was taxing.
In many ways. So
Yeah. And I think also it's just the idea of being tied to a home because we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in it just didn't appeal. Not only because of the expense, but also because it's just not something that we wanted to do so quickly, even though we wanted to have our own space.
yeah.
So we thought about a lot of different options. I don't think apartment living is for us. We really love being outside. I think that's the other thing.
We're being serenaded right now, so.
Yes, a
Yeah.
lovely, I think it's a cardinal actually,
Yeah.
is giving us a song.
So right now we have a beautiful background. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes.
Binta's home. It's beautiful.
My hometown. And we were able to move here because of the tiny house in the time of the
Yeah.
Rona.
The time of the Rona.
We were able to move
Yeah.
because, one, necessity, and two, we were able to pack up our home and just hitch it to our SUV and drive it here. We do have a very small house. I think the first house we were living in was about, what do you think?
Like, I don't know, like 1,500
Square feet?
Yeah.
And we
something
now
like
live in 150 square feet.
that. Yes.
So
Yes.
huge change, but it's worked out really well for
much.
us.
So another thing that I wanted to say is that it's not only about the money, but just
That's
the
a big
fact.
thing.
Yeah,
Let's
it's a
just
huge
say
thing.
that's a big
Obviously,
thing.
that's the biggest part. But also the fact that you can literally go anywhere you want. As long as it's not like obviously overseas, and even that you can also do because you can ship it. But also you own it. And the home where we couldn't really. We asked the landlord, and she said that she would never like sell that house because we really loved it there. So it's just like a way of us having something
Of our
that
own.
we own. Yeah.
It feels really good to know that we own our house, and even if it's a tiny house, it feels really good to take pride in that, to take care of it, to learn about it, which we've learned a lot just in these 3 months. And yeah, this week is actually our 3-month anniversary.
Yes, 3 months already.
Living
We
in the
have
RV full time.
learned so much. We're gonna obviously upload a video on every topic because we are women
Yes.
and we are young.
And we're queer.
Yeah, neither of us had any experience with RVs. Luckily, we we try our best.
Yeah.
I'm a little handy, so that helps. Pinta
lot
also
handy.
has helped.
I say I'm a
so
little
much.
handy. She's a lot handy. So between a little and a lot, we got it done.
We've gotten through it. It's definitely exhausting. The first couple things that we did, but the buying process was easy for us because we decided to buy a used RV. Also, I would say if you're thinking about it, do go out there and explore, like see what's out there for you within your budget. We saw a few RVs before we picked the one that we bought.
Yeah, do your research.
Yeah,
Make sure that
definitely
you do your
a
research.
lot of research. Binta is a researcher, so she did so much research.
Yeah.
I also did some research, but I think that she definitely did majority of it.
Well, I mean, for us, I think the big thing is because I'm the primary driver, I want to make sure that I could drive or tow whatever we're going to build. We did think about initially like doing an RV like that had like it's a full like truck and RV, but we ended up going with a travel trailer because I just wanted to make sure I was comfortable with the length of towing it. So we have a 19-foot trailer, so it's really small, but it's so comfortable for me to drive.
We're gonna upload some pictures.
Okay,
as well.
yeah, so we're gonna upload pictures as well so you can see. But definitely when you're researching, think about, even if you're gonna just have one that's all in one, think about what's the length or that you feel comfortable driving, because remember, like, you're gonna have to back out of spaces, you're gonna have to back into spaces, you're gonna have to be moving around on the road. So for me, it was really important that we were safe, and this length was something that I felt was a good starter for us so that I would feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very scary